Sometimes IELTS examiners make notes during the speaking test. And some of my students noticed how these examiners were writing some numbers. Well, I was often asked about these numbers, like what they mean, and let me be honest with you, I don't know what they mean. I've never asked any examiner about that, and I don't think they would tell me anyway, but let me tell you something from my teaching experience. I had some students who came to me after the speaking test, and they looked quite excited, simply because their interlocutor wrote something like 8 during the speaking test. So they saw that 8 and they believed that that 8 was possibly their speaking score. I was skeptical about that prediction because I knew that their speaking skills weren't so good. So when the results were announced, I wasn't surprised to see band 6 or 6.5 on their speaking. They saw 8, but they got speaking band 6, 6.5. You see, it's not the final score of a candidate. It can be a part of analysis, or it can be assessment of 1 criterion out of 4. I don't know. As far as I know, the final score is given after a candidate leaves the room. Some other students of mine came to me after the speaking test and they looked quite upset. They told me that they saw how their interlocutor wrote 4 during the speaking test. And again, they saw this 4 was probably their speaking score. Well, I knew that their level was higher than that, and I told them not to worry, and I was right. Because when their results were announced, they got band 7, and some of them even 7.5 on speaking. They saw 4, but they got speaking band 7.5. You see, we shouldn't be distracted by these notes that examiners may make. So I really recommend you not to be curious about these notes and numbers that interlocutors can write during the speaking test, because it simply doesn't make any sense.